Some pregnancies defy logic, medicine, and our understanding of the human body. From impossible bellies to extreme ages, these women have pushed biological boundaries to the limit. Today, discover 9 cases that shocked the entire world. Fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be intense. Number 9. Nadia Suleiman, Octomom. A delivery room in California. Doctors are holding their breath. Nadia Suleiman is about to give birth to 8 babies, all at once. All alive, all healthy. Images of her belly just days before the birth went viral across the globe. Her abdomen was so distended it seemed to defy the laws of human physics. How can skin stretch that far without tearing? How can one body carry 8 human beings simultaneously? The delivery required 46 health professionals. 46! A literal medical army coordinated to perfection. Each baby had its own doctor and its own team. But here's the most unsettling part. Nadia was already a mother of 6. She used in vitro fertilization, IVF, and her doctor implanted 12 embryos. 12. Medical authorities called it irresponsible, and the doctor lost his license. The octuplets survived. But Nadia's story raised massive ethical questions. How far can we go with reproductive technology? Who decides the limits? Today, the children are 15 years old. Nadia is raising her 14 children alone, living through public criticism but also garnering admiration for her resilience. Her belly? It will forever remain in history as one of the most extraordinary testimonies of what the human body can endure. Number 8. Lina Medina, the youngest mother in history. Peru, 1939. A father brings his 5-year-old daughter to the doctor. He thinks she has an abdominal tumor. The diagnosis falls like thunder. She's pregnant. 7 months along. Lina Medina, 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days old. The youngest confirmed mother in medical history. How is this possible? Her body had undergone extreme precocious puberty, a rare phenomenon where the reproductive system develops abnormally early. She'd had periods since age 2.5. On May 14, 1939, by cesarean section, she gives birth to a healthy boy. The medical team is in shock. Period photos show this small child's body with a pregnant woman's belly. It's heartbreaking and disturbing. The father of the child? Never identified. Lina's father was briefly arrested on suspicion of incest, but released for lack of evidence. The mystery remains complete. The baby named Gerardo grew up not knowing for years that his sister was actually his mother. He died at 40 from bone marrow disease. Lina lived anonymously in Peru, refusing all interviews. She had a second son at 33, leading as normal a life as possible after such trauma. Her case remains one of the most studied and disturbing in reproductive medicine. Number 7. Daljinder Kaur, mother at 72. India, 2016. Daljinder Kaur walks through the doors of a maternity ward holding her newborn in her arms. She is 72 years old. She has just become a mother, for the first time. For 50 years, she and her husband prayed, consulted doctors, and tried everything possible. Nothing worked, no children. In their culture, the absence of an heir carried a heavy social stigma. Then, modern technology offered them one last chance. IVF. After 2.5 years of intensive hormonal treatments, Daljinder became pregnant. The doctors were nervous. Would her 7-decade-old body support a pregnancy? Her heart? Her bones? Her blood pressure? Against all odds, she held on. She gave birth to a healthy boy named Arman. But the debate rages on. Is it ethical to become a parent at an age when most are great-grandparents? Will Arman still have his parents during his teenage years? His father was 79 at the time of his birth. Daljinder, however, is glowing. To her, it is a divine miracle. She claims to have the necessary energy and ignores all criticism. Her case perfectly illustrates the conflict between human desire and biological reality, between medical technology and social ethics. Science can certainly push the limits, but should it always do so? The question remains open. Number 6. Stacey Harold, 28 inches and 3 children, Kentucky, USA. Stacey Harold stands at just 71 centimeters, 28 inches tall. She suffered from osteogenesis imperfecta, a genetic disorder that makes bones extremely fragile. Her body was tiny, compressed, and vulnerable. When she announced her pregnancy, doctors were blunt. "You will die. Your ribcage will not support the pressure. Your lungs will be crushed." Stacey smiled and moved forward. During her pregnancy, her belly took on absolutely mind-blowing proportions relative to her size. Imagine a basketball on the body of a small child. The images are staggering. How did she breathe? How did her heart keep beating? Her first child was born. She survived. Then a second. Still alive. Then a third. Against every medical prognosis. Her eldest daughter inherited the same condition. Stacey carried her knowing this, accepting the reality of passing on a disease she knew intimately. Every pregnancy was a gamble with death. Her husband, who was of average height, supported her while living in permanent anxiety. With every contraction, he wondered if it was the end. Tragically, Stacey passed away in 2018 at the age of 44 due to respiratory complications. They were not directly linked to the pregnancies, but certainly aggravated by them. Her 3 children, now teenagers, carry the legacy of a mother who chose maternal love, despite all risks. Heroic or reckless? That is for everyone to judge. But her courage remains undeniable. Number 5. Thomas Beatty, the pregnant man. A bearded man appears on American television, shirt open, revealing a round belly. "I am pregnant," Thomas Beatty declares calmly. The world stops. A man pregnant? How is that possible? Thomas was born female. During his transition to the male gender, he underwent a mastectomy and took testosterone, but he retained his internal reproductive organs, uterus and ovaries. Legally recognized as a man and married to a woman who was infertile after a hysterectomy, Thomas decided to carry their child. He stopped his testosterone treatments and, through artificial insemination with donor sperm, became pregnant. The photos became a global sensation. A masculine chest, a beard, muscular arms, and a pregnant belly. An image that shattered all traditional boxes. The reactions? Violent. Some celebrated him as a pioneer. Others accused him of being unnatural or a perversion. Thomas carried and gave birth to 3 children. 3 natural births. 3 healthy babies. But this journey isolated him. His marriage eventually collapsed. The forced fame, the threats, and the constant judgment took a heavy toll. Today, Thomas lives more discreetly, raising his children away from the spotlight. His case revolutionized the conversation on parenthood, gender, and biology. He proved that carrying a child is not exclusively feminine. Pregnancy ultimately belongs to whoever possesses a uterus, regardless of gender identity. Number 4. Maria del Carmen, the 66-year-old lie. Spain, 2006. Maria del Carmen Busada de Lara is determined. She wants a child. She is 66 years old. No Spanish clinic will accept her. So she flies to Los Angeles, presents herself at a California fertility clinic, and lies about her age. She claims to be 55. The clinic believes her. The treatments begin. The result? She becomes pregnant with twins. At 66 years and 358 days old, she gives birth to 2 healthy boys, officially becoming the oldest woman to have twins. The media seizes the story. Maria appears radiant, holding her babies, speaking of miracles and happiness. But the fairy tale turns into a nightmare. 2.5 years later, Maria develops cancer. She dies, leaving her twin sons orphaned at just 2 years old. Her brother, himself in his 60s, has to raise them. The story that was meant to be a triumph of science becomes an ethical tragedy. Questions arise. Should she have been allowed to have children at that age? Does the clinic bear responsibility for accepting her? Was Maria selfish or simply desperate? Her sons, now teenagers, grow up with the weight of a story that made world headlines. A mother they barely knew. A choice that marked them for life. Does maternal love justify every risk? Maria's case forces us to reflect on that. Number 3. Michelle Duggar, 19 children, 12 years pregnant. Arkansas, USA. Michelle Duggar opens the door to her giant house. Behind her, 19 children. 19. This American mother spent the equivalent of 12 full years of her life pregnant. Going through pregnancy after pregnancy with staggering biological efficiency. No reproductive technology, no treatments. Just her naturally hyper-fertile body and her religious convictions forbidding any form of contraception. The names all start with J. Joshua, Jana, Jill, Jessa, all the way to Josie, born prematurely at 25 weeks weighing only 600 grams, 1.3 pounds. Her first child was at 21, her last at 45. Her uterus carried 19 babies without collapsing. The show 19 Kids and Counting made them famous but controversial. Criticism flew. Was this responsible? The eldest children had to raise the younger ones, sacrificing their own childhoods. Then came the scandals. A son accused of assault. The show was canceled. The family fractured. But medically, Michelle remains an enigma. How did her body endure 19 pregnancies without major complications? Her uterus should be destroyed. It still functions. Nature sometimes surpasses science. Number 2. Elizabeth Adini, solo at 66. England, 2009. Elizabeth Adini, a business executive, arrives at the maternity ward. She is 66 years old, single. She is here to give birth, by choice. Totally deliberate. No husband. She traveled to Ukraine, paid a clinic, used an anonymous donor, and returned home pregnant. The British press exploded. Too old. Selfish. This child will be an orphan. Elizabeth, unfazed, I have the money, I have the energy, my choice. She financially planned her son's future even in the event of her death. A full-time nanny was hired, but she will be 84 when he turns 18, if she is still alive. Her case triggered a massive ethical debate. Should there be an age limit for accessing reproductive technologies? 50? 55? 60? Some support her body, her choice. Others condemn her. The interest of the child comes first. Today, her son is 15. Elizabeth, at 81, is still alive and active. She has partially proven her detractors wrong. But the question remains, do we have the right to become a parent at any age simply because technology allows it? Number 1. Omkari Panwar, a son at all costs at 70. India, 2008. A small village in Uttar Pradesh. Omkari Panwar is 70 years old. She is already a mother of 2 adult daughters. She is a grandmother to 5 grandchildren. She wants a son. Desperately. Why? In her culture, only a son can inherit the family land. Without a male heir, everything will be lost. The social pressure is immense. So she and her 77-year-old husband make a radical decision. They sell their buffaloes, their only source of income, to finance IVF. Omkari, wrinkled and bent by decades of farm work, undergoes aggressive hormonal treatments. Her 70-year-old body is bombarded with medications designed for women 3 times younger. Miracle or madness? She becomes pregnant with twins. The pregnancy is an ordeal. Her tired, worn-out body is pushed beyond any reasonable limit. Doctors fear the worst at every checkup. Cesarean section at 70. A boy? A girl. Omkari finally has her heir. Her face glows despite the exhaustion, but serious ethical questions remain. She and her husband are very old to raise newborns. Who will care for the twins when the parents are gone? Her story reflects the clash between tradition and biology. between personal desire and the child's well-being. Science can achieve the impossible, but should it always say yes? These 9 stories remind us that the human body is capable of extraordinary things, sometimes wonderful, sometimes troubling. Before you go, look at this incredible image. 2 pregnancy bellies that defy imagination. On the left, an abdomen so distended it looks ready to burst. On the right, a woman whose belly has taken on an almost impossible geometric shape. These bodies carried life to the absolute extreme. If these stories fascinated you, like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Which case shocked you the most? See you soon for more extraordinary stories.